Good morning to teacher Alira and to my fellow classmates. We are group 7. Our members are me, Tan Wei Jing, Tan Sayun, Lim Hui Ni, and Tiam Sun Jet. Today we are going to share about deforestation lead to catastrophic events. What is deforestation? Deforestation is the curing or thinning of forests by humans. Deforestation represents one of the largest issues in global land use. Estimates of deforestation traditionally are based on the area of forest cleared for human use, including removal the trees for wood products and for crop plants and grazing lands. In the practice of clear cutting, all trees are removed from the land, which completely destroy the forest. In some cases, however, even partial logging and accidental fire thin out the tree enough to change the forest structure dramatically. History of deforestation. Deforestation is the purposeful clearing of forested land. Throughout history and into modern times, forests have been raised to make space for agriculture and animal grazing and to obtain wood for fuel, manufacturing, and construction. Deforestation has greatly altered landscape around the world. About 2,000 years ago, 80% of Western Europe was forested. Today the figure is 34%. In North America, about half of the forests in the eastern part of the continent were cut down from the 1600 to the 1870 for timber and agriculture. Much of Earth's farmland was once forest. There are some causes of deforestation. First is the forest fire. Each year, fires burn millions of hectares of fire worldwide. Fires are the part of natural but degraded forests are particularly vulnerable. These include heavily logged rainforests, forests on peat soils, or where forest fires have been suppressed for years, allowing unnatural accumulation of vegetation that make the fire burn more intensely. The resulting loss has wide-reaching consequences on biodiversity, climate, and the economy. Second is the conservation of forests. Conservation of forests for under land use, including park, palm and soy plantations, pasture, settlement, roads, and infrastructure.
This is the effect of catastrophic events. The first one is deforestation, the cause of wildlife extinction. Deforestation can lead to a direct loss of wildlife habitat as well as a general degradation of their habitat. Habitat fragments may be too small to maintain viable population of animals, and an animal living in one population may not longer be able to freely breed with individuals in other populations. Animals may not be able to find adequate shelter, water, and food to survive within remaining habitat. Animals may also encounter dangerous situations such as increased human-wildlife conflict and being hit by vehicles when they attempt to migrate between habitat fragments. Some animal species are entirely dependent upon old-growth forest habitat, such as the northern spotted owl in the western United States and cannot survive in secondary forest habitat. This means that in places where is any deforestation happening, these species cannot thrive and will gradually disappear. The second one is deforestation, the cause of the greenhouse effect. The global impact of deforestation, the role of forests on climate. Tropical rainforests play a very important role in the function of the Earth's national system. Through their absorption, precipitation, and gas exchange. Rainforests mediate the local and global climate. For example, the Amazon River alone can produce 15 to 18% of the precipitation through transpiration. After the rainforest is cut down, the reflectivity of the Earth's surface will change. The change in the form of wind and ocean current affect the global climate, which which also change the distribution of precipitation situation. If forests continue to be destroyed, the global climate situation will become more extreme and unstable. The last one, soil erosion is one of the consequences of deforestation. Deforestation weakens and degrades the soil. Forested soils are usually not only richer on organic matter, but also more resistant to erosion, bad weather, and extreme weather events. This happens mainly because roots help fix trees in the ground and the sun-blocking tree cover help the soil to slowly dry out. As a result, deforestation will probably mean the soil will become increasingly fragile, leaving the area more vulnerable to natural disasters such as landslides and floods.
Next, I will present a program to address the deforestation. First, what is REDD+? REDD+ is reducing emissions from the deforestation and forest degradation. It is a framework created by the UNFCCC Conference of the Party to guide activities in the forest section that reduce emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, as well as the sustainable management of forests and the conservation and enhancement of forest carbon stocks in developing countries. It aims at the implementation of activity by national governments to reduce human pressure on forests that result in greenhouse gas emissions at the national level, but as an interim measure also recognize subnational implementation. So how does REDD Plus work? REDD Plus help countries value the carbon and ecosystem service their forests provide and create financial incentive to reduce deforestation, reduce degradation, and promote sustainable management. Put simply, REDD Plus is the framework through which countries, the private sector, multilateral funds, and others can pay countries to not cut down their forests. Next is relevant party. First of the party is Amazon Watch. This party is a non-profit organization founded to protect the Amazon rainforest and advance the rights of indigenous peoples in the Amazon basin. Amazon was focused on deforestation and global warming. It also engaged in activities like campaigning for the rights of indigenous peoples, strengthening the capacity of indigenous community in the Amazon to advocate for their own rights and more. Then second of the party is Conservation International. Conservation International combines science, policy, and fieldwork to help community, country, and societies protect the Earth's ecosystem. It mainly focuses on deforestation and global warming, working with community, governments, and partner organizations through a combination of policy, fieldwork, and science in order to tackle deforestation.
This is the statistic for annual tree cover loss in 2001. Tree cover loss and aggregate tree cover loss became higher and higher until 2019. Next. In 2001, South America has the highest tree cover loss and the lowest is Mesoamerica in the tropics. Besides that, in 2001, Europe has the highest tree cover loss and the lowest is Africa outside the tropics. This is the quotes related to deforestation. The first is deforestation is changing our climate, harming people and the natural world. We must and can reverse this trend, said by Jane Goodall. The second is reversing deforestation is complicated. Planting a tree is simple, said by Martin O'Malley. Next, this is the vocabulary related to deforestation. First is colonization. Colonization is the action or process of setting among and establish control over the indigenous people of an area. The second is degradation. Degradation is the condition or process of degrading or being degraded. Ecological is relating to or concerns with the relation of living organisms to one another and to their physical surrounding. Sediment is matter that settles to the bottom of a liquid drags. The last is exponential. Exponential is becoming more and more rapid. The last is the writing question and speaking question. Writing question is you attend a talk by a speaker from the Department of Environment, which was recently organized by your school. The following comment was made by the speaker. Deforestation leads to catastrophic events, right? Write an essay expressing your opinion on the statement. Write at least 250 words. The speaking question is: there is an increasing concern about deforestation leads to catastrophic events. In your group, discuss ways to solve this problem. How to solve deforestation? Government regulation, reforestation and afforestation, and the last is banning clear cutting of forests. At the end of the discussion, try to decide the best way to solve deforestation. Thank you.
10分42秒。